and it's a very exciting time for us at Related to have this event kind of opening up the Experience Center. And what's really exciting about it is, we've had a lot of groundbreakings. We're talking about what West Palm Beach, what it is, what it will become, and the whole idea really emanated with the mayor and the city and really creating a model city for this country. Because Florida has all those attributes that really kind of encourage growth and encourage people to really want to be here, because we are really so lucky. This is really Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, Palm Beach County is really the most important place, I think, in the future of this country. And so it's really exciting, as we've talked about, what we had envisioned, that seeing it come to reality. And so here in our exhibition center, which we're all here, we'll give you a better idea of that, as opposed to, renderings, and also seeing a lot of the opening and that have been built and those under construction. And so, today was exciting. We had the topping off party for South Flagler condos, and the response was fantastic. But I think we all are really kind of seeing the transformation that's taking place here, and really wanting to be a part of it. And I think you'll get a much better idea as you go through the Experience Center, and then experience also the openings of the things that are happening. Like earlier this week, Equinox, which is right behind me there, opened up. I know I sit on the board of it, and people, question, could you really fill up a health club at these kind of rates in West Palm Beach? Matter of fact, we are almost sold out before we open, 3 years ahead of the projections, to give you an idea of the demand and how this area is changing. Today, when we had the topping out party, to see the response and the sales we've had for that condo project, which was really going to be probably, we think is probably, will be the finest condo project built in this whole area, if not the state. And then you look at the other things that are happening. December the 5th, Italy will open up in the church right behind you there. Which is, having been through it, you could probably look through the glass there and see it if they haven't blocked it, but it's going to be really like the center point of this whole project, and really the icon, I think, for a lot for West Palm Beach. So, and then you see the construction that's going on here, and several other buildings and things that we're doing. To see that happen, it can only happen if you're in an environment that really allows growth, that has a vision. And we've worked in a lot of cities across the whole country, and I've really never worked with in a better political situation where people have a vision, wanting to make it happen. They say, how can we help you make it happen? And that doesn't exist in very many places. And you can't, as a developer, it doesn't exist anywhere, you feel like. But here, I think they're looking to make this the model community for inclusive growth. And you can feel it happening. So it's exciting that the team we put together is really involved and excited in doing it, because we're really trying to do things in the best of class, it takes a large team to do something at this magnitude. But working with the community, making it happen, all for everybody benefits, and that's been the way we've approached things, and we will continue to approach things that way. Earlier this year, I think you all know we signed ServiceNow for their H2Q. It's a $300+ billion company to really start bringing in tech industry here to South Florida and to West Palm Beach. I mean, Palm Beach, people are really recognizing what's going on here from around the country. I mean, some of the press that we're getting. And so I think we're all should be very happy, proud to be living in a place like this and knowing that the future is very, very bright. So, I mean, I couldn't have done that without both the political leadership, but also the great team that we have in Related. In every area, both in the retail, office building, condos, residential, and hotels, all these things are all happening at a quality level that we think is second to none. And I think, involving and growing this community is what we're all about. And there's nothing at this stage of my life that's more fun than really doing something that hasn't been done before and really impacting a whole community. And I feel very lucky, and I'd like to thank everybody who's really been involved with us as we continue to grow. With that, I'd like to introduce my partner. We've been partners here. We started the City Place, almost 30 years ago. Initially everybody was excited about it because we opened it in Thanksgiving, and by April, no one was here. But it was great between Thanksgiving and April. I don't think that's happening this time around, and because you can just feel the momentum. So with that, let me introduce Ken Hill.
And that's a great segue into, I think the word I use, by the way, Stephen and I drove through this almost 30 years ago, 29 years ago. We arrived here at 11 o'clock at night and drove through the place. And the next day everyone said to us, my God, I don't know why you would drive through here. My God, your life's in danger. But the word transformational is a word that a lot of people are using right now. We don't take that word lightly. And let me just point to a few things that make that word come to life here. So at that corner where you see Aloe Yoga and Equinox, and you see Crate and Barrel, and you'll soon see Moxie's, a great restaurant opening up in January, and you see an incredible 322 unit luxury rental project. That entire block had a 2-story, 100,000 square foot, 50,000 feet per floor Macy's store. They came to us after we were under construction and wanted to open a store. And that store, in its best days, literally did $10 million in volume, 100,000 feet. That's the department store industry, which is a dinosaur these days, right? Across the street, at the location where this experience center is, was a 10,000 square foot cheesecake factory. And it did 12 million a year. So put that in perspective for a moment. So I did the original deal with David Overton, who's the creator and founder of Cheesecake. And to age ourselves, I can age myself, I did the original lease with him 23 years ago. He negotiated a 10-year lease with 2 5-year options and ran out of time with no options. And we decided not to have him leave West Palm Beach because he has a big following. So we put him on Okeechobee Boulevard. And then there's something about to open here in the center of the building. And contrary to maybe some of the stories as this was coming together and coming to fruition with a tremendous amount of help from the mayor and the staff here at the city, and Nancy Graham at the time was the mayor, who we worked with on the selection process and got awarded the right to develop all this. But that building was modified so significantly before we even entered the equation that it could never have been an historic building. And no way could it have been a historic building. And for years we had all these small tenants in the building. And then all of a sudden, as we follow the food and beverage business around the world so carefully and so aggressively, we got in touch with the guys from Italy. And you can imagine now, this is a firm based, the spirit of the whole company is Italian based, the owners of the company are Italian based. And you can imagine every single one of their stores in America, but for New York City in one location, they're all in shopping malls, and they're all in very big projects where their personality is a storefront. So you can imagine how they fell in love with this. But that entire building today it's about to open here in a few weeks. That's a $50 million plus project. It's 35,000 square feet. When you go in there starting on the 5th of December, it will blow your mind in terms of what's going on. That building will do between $50 and $60 million worth of food and beverage business. Transformation also means we're about to change the entire picture here of our tenant mix. You're beginning to see the fruits of bringing home and home retailing here. Restoration Hardware, Gary Friedman, who's a very close friend of Stevens and mine, we took him, before he committed his deal on PGA Boulevard, we brought him here to Okeechobee Boulevard. This year, that store will do $88 million in volume out of Restoration Hardware. $10 million in a restaurant. It's not even open late in the evening. And of course, then we brought Paragold, its second store opening here in the country, 35,000 square feet. Crate and Barrel and Design Within Reach, so the home categories become important. And now, as you walk around here, you're going to see incredible apparel retailing. Retailing that's going to finally appeal to a young audience and especially a female audience, which has been an important part of what we're all trying to do. But nothing will take the place of telling a story as you walk into this experience center. We've been trying to tell the story in our office with picture boards and video presentations and projection decks that we've been using. This is an incredible part of the whole story. So I know, for me especially, who Stephen was supportive of this project all these years. I was here almost every single week for at least 20 years. It's unbelievable to watch the transformation. Equinox opens with its largest and fastest membership in the history of Equinox clubs. Not an easy sell. If it weren't for Stephen, we would never have got it done. But the results are unbelievable in terms of the number of people that are using this club. And think about it, across the street it's 1 million square feet of office space. 5,000 people are going to occupy those two buildings, almost all of them new to the area, and Equinox is already full. So it's telling you the kind of demand factors that are going on here. I know we're represented here. I can't see everybody here, but I know a number of people responded. I know from the city commission side of this, the mayor, who has been incredibly supportive and a driving force behind this, as he will point out, it's not just about buildings, and it's not just about all the tenants we're talking about. I mean, this is about inclusive growth, and no one's doing more of that than we are. We're really committed to all of the inclusionary programs that the mayor and the city are supporting in every regard. And I know we see Commissioner Flores. I'm not sure how many other county commissioners are here, but I kind of call this a new day as well on the county side of things. We have a whole new perspective that we're all looking forward to here with the county. We've always, all of our progress here has been backed by the city up until quite recently. And now, with the kind of county support we're getting here, you'll see an announcement coming on our 400-room hotel, which I believe will be underway with this summer. We're being unbelievably approached by restaurants from all over the world. We had a group in London last week, and 2 of the London restaurants will be coming our way. But in closing my comments, I'd like our senior related team, I'd like the related team to come on up here in the front with me here. I see Jordan Rathler. Where is he? Come on over here. But all of our team, come on up here, because this is the team of people doing it. Unbelievable. Come on up. And to that point, when Stephen and I used to come here 5 years ago, we were in that little warehouse building over by the Bright Line, and we had first 5 people, and then visitors, then we had 10 people. Today, our offices at 360, we have over 150 people working in this business. And the reason all of this turns out the way it does, in terms of quality selection of everything we do, is because of the team we have here. We don't miss any of the details on everything going on. I'd also want to recognize Connor Delaney. Where's Connor? Well, Connor Delaney, who's the president of the Cleveland Clinic here in Florida, and as you can imagine the work going on there. So we're tremendously supportive, and you'll be hearing a lot from Cleveland Clinic as we move forward here in the next few months. And Stephen and I had an incredibly good meeting today with Daniel Diermeyer, the president of Vanderbilt. We'll be hearing more good news on that very shortly. So when you think about Vanderbilt, Cleveland Clinic, and K through 12 schools, you think about some really interesting thinking on those fronts. And I've seen Michael Napoleon from Wellington. Village Council members are here, but as you probably know, we're doing a great project in Wellington. So with that, I thank everybody for all their great efforts here and look forward for all of you to see this great experience here.
A related roast, grand opening in see the place.